Live from Hack Studios. Good morning, everyone. This is RT Bear, and I am going to be hanging with the great Vinnie Tartamella, and we were going to talk about his Shadow of the Kraken. And this is a Hacks chat, so we're going to get in depth, and we are going to talk to the man, the myth, Vinnie, the great Vinnie. But before we go any further, I bet you are wondering why I was murdered by Dan Frega. I'm going to talk to Vinnie about that. I hope he knows what I'm going to be referencing. Commie Mark did a what the hell was that TV show or that movie based on some stupid book, and it's kind of like where they Hunger Games, where they hunt each other. So I think it's some kind of like game that you can, like an app that you can put names into, and then it kind of gives you outcomes. And it was absolutely hilarious. I think he did it over the weekend, Commie Mark. Either it was Friday or over the weekend. And yeah, spoiler alert, I was killed. I was murdered by Dan Frega. Dan Frega killed me. But I did make it, I think, all the way to the last round, so that was good. That was good. And I took a couple people down, but I don't want to talk about it too much because I want to see if Vinnie watched the live stream, and that was on Commie Mark's channel, and it was absolutely hilarious. So we have Joe Bernardo. What's up, my friend? We have Jay Lee. Hey, good morning. Good morning. We have Green Laser Clap. We have Sheldon Martin, who sometimes can be my friend and sometimes can be my arch nemesis. He can be my worst enemy. Finally, you do a stream when I'm not at work. Yeah. Hell, Artie Bear held the chat. Indeedy do. Yeah. Before we go any further, I want to let you guys know I have a book. It's called Chrono Mechanics. Here it is right here. And it is in demand right now. So here's one of the variants. This is done by Sean Cheeks Galloway. You can see the trading card already packed in there. 2 signatures. We have all the stretch goal cards in here. And here is the Doug by Tom Bancroft. And then we have Caravaggio. There's the card right there. And yeah, I'm going to go and we are going to check out the page. Click, clickety, click, click, clack. And you should be seeing the in-demand page, the Indiegogo in-demand page for Chrono Mechanics Retrofit. They do more before the dawn of time than most people do all day. 52,613, 761 backers. We are still moving up the charts. You guys are still backing this book, so I want to thank you. I want to thank you for backing, supporting, and just to kind of let you know that we're still shipping books out. We're still getting orders. The book is done. So once we get the orders, they will be fulfilled, and you will get them pretty much ASAP, very quickly. So let me play the video. Here we go. I have a problem with sound. I should turn up the sound first.
Hi all, I'm RT Bear, and I'm a comic book artist. During my 35-year career, I have worked on many comic titles for DC, Marvel, and Image Comics, such as Adventures of Superman, Ultimate Spider-Man, X-Men, Cable, Spawn, Youngblood, Super Sons, and others too numerous to mention. Now, I'm rocking the indie scene, and that all began with my graphic novel, Black and White. And thanks to people like you, we made that campaign a huge success. Now, I'm hoping that together, we can do it again as I switch creative gears to walk through something new and exciting with the style created just for this Chrono Mechanics title. At this point, you may be saying, sounds good, but what is Chrono Mechanics about? Well, I'm glad you asked. This wildly funny sci-fi action-adventure graphic novel focuses on the best prepared team to ever turn a wrench. I'm talking about Team 9.2 of Sector 7. Chrono Mechanics is about the brave, knuckle-busting son-of-a-gun repairman who fixed the big machine known as time. And yes, when I say machine, you heard right. What keeps our time running smoothly is an ancient, nuts-and-bolts cosmic clockwork machine that is as huge as the galaxy itself. So join Oot, a prehistoric businessman with anger issues. Caravaggio, frustrated Renaissance artist and inventor. Zinn, a child deity with the power of a gem. And a potential new recruit, Doug, a 70s rock god and slacker with crazy dumb luck. As they don their work suits and power up to repair a rip in time, will our slacker step up to become a chrono mechanic and take his place as the fourth member of Team 9.2 of Sector 7? Chrono Mechanics. They do more before the dawn of time than most people do all day. We believe that you will have so much fun reading about the crazy repair misadventures of Team 9.2 as we did making it. So please support this campaign and then spread the word. Thank you. You are awesome.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so very much. Yeah, Chrono is done, and we are shipping as the orders come in. There are so many different tiers here. We have posters. We have variant cover collection. We have a sketchbook. Here's some of the interiors. Let me show you the sketchbook. Yeah, so many great pages, beautifully colored. Here's the cover of the sketchbook, and it is work in progress. So there are a ton of behind the scenes pieces of artwork, little explanations, what they were used for. It's a great sketchbook. It's a really cool book. Here's some of the turnarounds for Oot, for Zinn. Here's a better shot at the variants. There's Oot. There is Tom Bancroft's Doug. There is Aaron Lopresti's Zinn. And there is Carlo Barberi Caravaggio. So like I said, you guys, there's a ton of stuff here. The link is in the description. When you get some time, please click on it. And if you haven't backed and supported this book, please do so. It is a labor of love, you guys. I think it's terrific. I had so much fun doing it. I want to get more people to read this book, to hopefully enjoy this book. That's my goal. And oh my gosh, wouldn't it be awesome to get it to 700? If we could get it to 700 backers, that would be amazing. So like I said, thanks for the support. And if you haven't picked up a book, please do so, because it is awesome. You guys are awesome. So, oh, there's Vinnie. Yeah, we're gonna have Vinnie in very soon. I am sending Vinnie the link of it. And we are gonna talk some Shadow of the Kraken. The Shadow of the Kraken. Yeah, it should be a blast. Yeah, Vinny's always great to hang out with. And also, you guys, some of the stretch goals, the freebies, are still being shipped. So at Pamela's discretion, but I'm pretty sure she's putting the Chrono Mechanics patches in each one of the orders. And like I said, they're going out as soon as we get them, pretty much. And I am still busy working on Chrono Mechanics Volume 2. So here is Volume 1. Here's the back of Volume 1. So we are going to be launching Volume 2 very soon. So wait. There he is.
Hey, buddy. How we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Not bad. Just a little tired, but I'm all right.
I hear you, man. This past week was crazy. I'm not a late nighter. You know, I usually go to bed around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And so all week, man, for some reason, I haven't been getting to bed till like 12:30, 1 o'clock. and last night was no exception. And
Yeah. For me, it's been about 2 or 3 in the morning. It's been my average this past week.
Oh, really? Holy crap! So you got a lot of work to do, or?
Yeah. I'm always juggling just a bunch of different things, but yeah, I'm getting more pages done on Shadow of the Kraken. So I'm really excited about that. I can't wait for people to see this book.
Yeah, it looks terrific, and we're going to get into that very soon. But I want to get into, well, there's 2 things I want to cover. I want to cover this whole Commie Mark Hunger Games battle. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, he did one I think it was 6 months ago or something, where he had all of us in there. I didn't see this recent one, but they tagged me saying that I killed him with his sickle. So I went, oh, he's doing it again.
Yeah, you're pretty badass, man. That's pretty bloody. And I think your brother was in there too.
Okay.
He kicked some ass. And I killed 2 of our own Comicsgaters. Leroy, I slaughtered Leroy.
I'm not familiar with Leroy.
He spells his name with O-I, Leroi. Okay. And it was one of the Barton brothers. Was it? It's Corey. I killed Corey. So it's funny because all the way up to that point, I was just kind of like, oh, he builds a fort. Oh, he gets an ally. He starts a fire. Like all these just survival things. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like I killed 2 people at the same time. Takes out Corey and Leroy at the same time.
While skinning a fish.
Yeah, exactly. And so then I think it was the last round, and then Dan Frega, he murdered me.
Oh wow! Who won?
You know what? I don't know. I didn't hang out. As soon as I was killed, I bailed. I was like, "There's no reason to go any further."
I need to see this stream.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Those guys' commentary was hilarious, and the best little ironic twist to me dying was Dan killed me with a bear trap. So he caught me in a bear trap. He caught T-Bear in a bear trap. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So work's coming along good on Shadow of the Kraken.
Yeah. I'm still on schedule. Like I said, I'm trying to get it completed and hopefully delivered by the end of the year. That's kind of my goal on this one. It's the first campaign that I'm running where I'm actually still working on it while I'm running the campaign. It's probably the last time I do it that way. I think I'd rather have it completely done again and then out the door like my other 5 campaigns.
Why is that?
So I can focus more on the marketing side of it and pushing and getting on more streams, because it's very exhausting to get the work done, do the streaming, because I'm also doing those master classes as well. So I'm teaching people how to draw over on my channel. It's a lot to juggle since I'm doing everything: pencils, writing, the coloring, the lettering, you name it. I'm wearing all the hats.
Did your brother help out on Shadow of the Kraken, or was it just you on the writing?
No, it's just me on that one. Just like City of Venus, that was all me as well.
Okay. Yeah. Before we get too in depth on Shadow of the Kraken, did you hear that John Paul Leon died?
I did. Yeah, I heard yesterday. Does anyone know what happened? Because he was kind of young.
It was cancer. 49. He was 49. Wow. Yeah, I never met the guy, but people were posting his art, and holy shit!
Yeah, beautiful work. I think I passed him a couple of times at conventions, but I never had a conversation with the man, so I don't know much about him. But that's tragic, though.
Yeah, I never met him either, and after I looked at his work, people were posting it, I was like, holy shit! Mm-hmm. This guy is so freaking good. I know we crossed paths on Superman, because I think Mike Carlin, who was the Superman editor at DC, used Leon a lot, like John Paul a lot. Mm-hmm. And holy crap, look at this brushwork, just fantastic.
Yeah, it's stunning. His composition, the brushwork. I mean, look at his, the darks and the lights. Man, everything's perfect on that. Everything.
Yeah, it's not even like labored. Look at her hand and some of the line weight on her leg
Right.
and stuff like that. Like this is just like quickly put down, but it's so freaking.
This is a very confident artist, or he was a very confident artist. You could see that very clearly. You don't need to put every little detail. If that's his style and that's how well it works, dude, the guy's the top of his game.
Yeah, is this the Eternals? I don't think these are Sentinels. These look like Eternals.
Could be.
Yeah. But God, look at this stuff. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, that is impressive.
The Twin Towers are still in the cityscape. So this was before 9/11.
This is the kind of work that just like truly inspires other artists, you know? Like when I see this, I want to do more bold blacks on my pages. You know, it just works.
Well, that's exactly why I'm posting this stuff right now. I mean, I didn't know the guy, so I can't really. I mean, it's always tragic when somebody of this caliber dies, especially at 49.
Yeah.
But this is inspiring. I am going to be looking at his work for the next couple months for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to celebrate his freaking work. God, look at this.
Wow. Oh, wow. The chat said he fought cancer for 14 years. Wow.
Holy shit. Almost 20 years.
Wow. That's something else.
Yeah, so he's a fighter on top of everything else, but holy crap. Like you said, confident artist.
Oh, yeah.
And he does this like scumbling, like with the brush. I think that's a brush. Like if you look at Harrison Ford's face, there's like, it looks like do you paint traditionally or just digitally?
I used to do some traditional, but it's mostly been digital lately. Yeah.
So you know that kind of dry brush scumbling that you can do with a brush?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that Harrison Ford, let me see, this is a pretty good high res. Do you think that's scumbling with a brush? Because this is pretty digital.
Yeah, because you can see some of the stroke lines in there.
God, it's so freaking cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is really good.
And even the lettering isn't labored, like it's done with a brush, but it still looks so tight.
It looks fantastic, yeah. And that's the thing, yeah, because a lot of people forget that. That's why we work so big on those pages, 11 by 17, because like when it gets shrunk down like to this size, it tightens all those lines, and a lot's going to be lost if you put way too much detail in. So like for what he's doing, yeah, wow, that is impressive.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, I had to do this, Vinny. I know we're here for your book and all, but God.
No, it's more than okay. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, it's inspiring.
Oh, it is. I love all this kind of stuff. Truly, you know, I can't count the number of like ash cans I have from other creators and things like that, because I love seeing like the process. Wow, that is killer.
Yeah, I couldn't find a high res, so it's really low res, but I think as long as I don't blow it up, it kind of holds together. This says 07, so Shadow knows. God, look at this.
Wow. That perspective. There's all the shadowing in there. Wow.
And the way he did the lights, there's like that little like halo around them. Yeah, just a nice little touch there.
That's killer.
And then this one, there's like all these gray tones and stuff.
Yeah.
God, look at this.
Wow. My buddy Tim Townsend, I'd be surprised if he didn't buy this yet.
Yeah.
He's such a diehard Hellboy fan.
Yeah, Tim got to start working on Spawn with me.
Oh, nice. We all work for Todd.
Yeah, exactly. But look at, like, it's just, oh my gosh. And you can see the brushwork, the gray tones, the door, like all this detail. It's there, but it's not labored.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But that contrast too, like the columns and stuff, like they didn't have to be that detail because he's standing out. That's why he didn't put any wash on the actual Hellboy, like on his skin or anything. He just did it in the background, so he really popped.
Yeah,
that's
my
beautiful.
Gosh. Yeah, I got 2 more pieces. So Thanks for letting me do this, Vinny.
Oh, dude, like I said, I'd be doing the same thing.
God, look at this.
Wow. See,
Oh,
that's a hero shot. I mean, that's heroic all the way.
yeah. He's saving the girl. And only in comics this has got to be like Enemy Ace, like a Brave and Bold cover or something. Because only in comics do you have a biplane like shooting machine gun fire at Batman in a contemporary setting.
Dude, that's brilliant.
I love comics. Yeah, this has got to be because she's got like bell bottoms on, so this has to be like a tribute to like an old Brave and Bold cover.
I think so.
Because look at those
Yeah.
shoes! Holy crap!
That's definitely it's like a late '60s design for sure.
Girls got to start dressing like that again. It's sexy.
It was sexy. Tight where it needed to be, but then they flare out the bottoms, and yeah, why not?
I know. See, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, for sure.
This is really low res, but I couldn't resist it. I'm a big Zorro guy, especially like Alex Toth when he did the comic books from the Disney live action. And this looks like it's from the live action to the Disney. And there's all these kind of linear like montage in the background. And then there's just that bold black with Zorro. And then who would be so bold to put Zorro right across the figure?
Dude, it just, again, that's like a movie poster right there.
Yeah, I'd go see the movie. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. I watched all of those as a kid. Like, my parents and my grandmother, they were fanatical about Zorro. And I remember growing up as a kid, I was watching all that stuff. So yeah, it's totally up my alley.
I saw some documentary like on Zorro, and I think it was loosely based on a real person.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I think there was two accounts, and I think the writer kind of combined these two people and then kind of created the Zorro character from it. Oh, somebody says it looks like the Celestials. Yeah.
Could have been.
Good call. So yeah, let's get into to the Shadow of the Kraken and Vinnie. So how long you been working on this, brother?
Actually, it's when I came into Comicsgate. As I was doing all those campaigns, I've been developing this since then. So actually, a little bit before, I'd say close to 3 years. I've been developing this out. So like building the world, doing concept artwork with characters, trying to get like their backgrounds down, so that when I map out like the rest of it, like I have somewhere to go with it. It's not just I'm coming up with something and going, okay, we'll wing it on the next one. No, I want to make sure that my world is really built and lived in, So I also started doing a whole bunch of research on pirates and how it kind of started in the Caribbean and all that. And I just that's why I have really great layers in there and really great surprises. So it does start off as like more of a traditional kind of pirate story. And then I get a little bit more into the comic book elements, fantasy, a little bit of supernatural. But yeah, it definitely, I had to keep the brutality of that world, because it's the one thing that almost everyone when they jump into that kind of pirate world, they leave out that stuff. It's just swashbuckling, whimsical pirates. No, I wanted to have something closer to reality. They were murdering each other. They were killing other people. They were stealing, looting, but they were also doing trade with, different ports and stuff like that. It was freedom, out there in the ocean, but at the same time, they still had certain rules that they kind of followed.
Weren't there governments that used them to fight some of their battles and stuff? Yeah,
because there's like a really famous one too, Captain Hornigold, Benjamin Hornigold, where he actually he was a privateer, and like when they were done like fighting the other countries and stuff, like they didn't know what to do with them, and they were like stationed over in Jamaica, and Hornigold decided, he heard about Nassau, he knew it was like kind of a perfect area for them to do what he wanted to do, and they kind of built the pirates from there. So like I'm gonna have some of those elements are gonna be in my story, but like I start to pepper in some of that The first issue though is focused mainly on my characters. So the one you see there, he's actually part of the Royal Navy, and he defects, and you find out why he does and why he turns to piracy. And it's a very brutal scene. I made sure to get it in there. It's pretty awesome. But again, he sort of has his own code. So like the people that he was running with, and this happened a lot. Like if they lost a captain, the ones who were like in the Royal Navy, if they were part of that stuff or they just decided to overthrow, and they kind of acted like pirates, but they did it in the name of the crown. So they kept their colors, they did everything they did, but they were still doing evil stuff. So he was kind of with this group, and he kind of has his last straw with them. And you'll see how that kind of goes. And again, it's a very violent scene. But yeah, from there, he sets his own code. And then I'm also playing with those kind of aspects of how far is too far, you know. He starts to cross his own line, you know, the bloodlust to treasure. Does it get too much, right? And could he find his way back? But there's also another element that I put in there that's also a very corrupting factor. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how that plays out. But then they're also being pursued by a really nasty villain who I'm kind of keeping mysterious at first, but I am going to have like a big reveal of that character towards the end of the book. And he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. So like, and you'll be seeing that throughout the issue as well.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting. And like I said,
it looks like you're beating Disney to the female pirate stuff too, because I think I heard that there's going to be like Red the Pirate or something like that, like a female pirate that they're talking about possibly replacing Johnny Depp in the Pirates movies. So look at you.
I heard Margot Robbie. Yeah, I heard like a couple months ago that Margot Robbie was in talks to replace Johnny. But
yeah, you beat them. Yeah, so who is this now? She's hot.
Yeah, she's part of his crew and kind of like his second hand. You'll see how they meet in this issue as well, and kind of where it goes from there. But yeah, she's one of the main characters for sure. Yeah, she's a very feisty character. I think people will like.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, she looks. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It did not end well for this guy.
No, I wanted to show the whole page, but I had to keep some of it because it is a very gory page. That's definitely a taste of it. But yeah, I did this one kind of like without panels, like without borders rather. So you'll see how this full page is, and I'm very proud of it. It's pretty killer.
So is the whole book kind of laid out like that? So there's no like hard line border. So
no. There is that specific page. I did something different because I was playing like with the water aspects, so I didn't want any like those harsh lines. So I figured I'd do something that flowed more nicely in the way that like that's like the big power shot of the page, where he's like kind of like breaching with the dude in his mouth.
I see. God, that looks awesome.
Yeah, because I really try to think about all that stuff composition wise. What kind of how I'm going to lay out a page is very kind of specific to what's going on in the page. So if I want to lead the eye in a certain way, you know, like I kind of break all that stuff down. So that's why I've been teaching some of those master classes for that, because I wanted to show people there's different ways to approach how to do a page. You don't have to do it, you know, that cookie cutter way of the Marvel way to draw. And as long as you're very strong with what you're doing, your compositions, your storytelling elements, you could play around, you know.
Definitely, yeah. And your color work and your environments are really, really well done.
Oh, thanks, man.
What do they call it? Aerial perspective? What it's where like the background starts fading back.
I think that's what they call it.
Yeah,
I'm self-taught, so it's like if there's something I like or a way of doing things, like I study paintings. Like I'm a huge Frazetta fan, so it's like I'll always break things down and try to be like analytical with why an artist kind of did it, you know, his approach a certain way. So, yeah.
I'm definitely self-taught as well, my friend. There was no silver brush or pen in these hands. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I took community college courses when I could at night, and had a full-time job, and kind of, tried to support myself with the full-time job while going to school and stuff.
Yeah,
so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I think it's well worth it, putting in those hours and continuously learning. I hate people who go, that's it. No, I think that's it. I'm the best. No, that's stupid. Always be learning. As long as you're an eternal student, you're always going to be better, and you're always going to be able to give something back to others.
Right. And I just think, like, if you're like me, I couldn't not do it. You know what I mean? Like, there's just something in my character that wouldn't allow me not to draw, to not pursue this. So it was just like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I couldn't. It just had to happen. You know what I mean? Like, even if I wasn't getting paid for it, I still would do it all the time.
Yeah, if it's like they equate it to like the acting bug. Once they have it, they have to do it. I think that's for us as well, man. Yeah, I feel like I was born to tell stories, at least in this format. I love it. I absolutely love it. That's why when I get out of the mainstream stuff, I hated how people were being treated, from other people in the industry and how they treated fans. And it really disgusted me. Is
that what made you come to Comicsgate?
For sure. That and like all the betrayal that people were doing as well. Like, I hate all that crap, drama, politics, all that bullshit. I just want to create. I just want to get good stuff out there. And because there's too many snakes. I mean, you've seen and heard all the stuff with Joe Q and all that. And it's just really dirty. I couldn't stand it. I saw a lot of this stuff in the convention scene. And when I had like lines, all around my booth or my table, people were always going, well, what are you working on? Like, I don't understand. Like, how do you have this fan base? I'm like, because I'm good to people. When they come to me, I'm being genuine. I'm being respectful. I see these guys, they just shill their product. As soon as they walk away, I see these professionals making fun of fans. And like, I've had fights with people at these shows. Like, why would you do that? And it always drove me nuts. So I'm like, I want to get away from all that stuff. I'm a fan. I'm a creator. This is how people should be treated. It should be treat them well. What's so hard about that?
Yeah, Kelsey's saying, two of my favorite artists just hanging out. Do I smell team up? Morning, fellas.
Morning, Kelsey.
Possibly, man. Anything's possible here. For me, like, I want to do way more with the community, and I have been kind of dipping my toe in stuff. Like, I worked with John on his last campaign. I'm working with Patrick Parnell now. And I
got a piece on John's campaign as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I want to get my stuff out first. I feel like, how we were talking about obsession. Like, I don't have that much time to do all of this stuff. And so I want to stay focused on like Black and White and Chrono. And then I think as soon as I get volume 2 of Black and White, then I'm going to start dabbling into, getting my toes wet in other people's IP, because there's so much great stuff out there. But there's only so many, hours in the day.
Yes, so, that's also true. Yeah, because I've been juggling different things. I'm on a dozen different campaigns, and there's still a few more that people don't know about. I'll be popping up in, but again, because I'm still doing freelance work while I'm doing this as well. So that's another reason why I'm going to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning, because I'm trying to get as much work in as possible.
Well, see all this gray hair. At one point, Vinnie, I did what you're doing now, but
mine's all turning white. It's starting.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. There was most of my career where I was that guy that just didn't say no, right? Because I was. I remember talking to Greg Capullo about this, and we were saying, like, what motivates you? What motivates you? And we both agreed it was fear. It was just sheer fear that you would never work again, right? So every time you get a job assignment offered, you take it. You take it, and then you figure out how to get it done. You know what I mean? But you have to do it after, because you don't really have. Also, you don't have much time to say yes or no, because these are monthly schedules. So if you don't give an editor an answer right then and there or within the hour, they have to try to find somebody else, because they're on the schedule. So so I always would just say yes.
Yeah, I had a similar conversation with Greg as well about that kind of stuff, and I was talking with him before he landed the Batman gig. We were at another show, and we were the booth neighbors, and we've been familiar with each other for a while, and I used to send him stuff when I was way younger as well. So he knew who I was, and then when we met up again, and like we started becoming friends. He broke down some stuff for me as well, and kind of how the industry is, and but yeah, it was funny. He was given that option if he got approached by both Marvel and DC, and he's like, I don't know, I kind of want to go back to Marvel, but they want to put me on a team book, and he goes, that thing is in me of always saying yes, but I don't want to do a team book. I said, what is DC offering you? He goes, Batman. And I went, what? Batman? How do you say no to? He goes, because I don't want to be in Todd's shadow. And I'm like, listen, Todd didn't even do that much with Batman. He did an issue or two. He didn't do a whole. Yeah, he did 2 issues. He didn't do a whole thing. I'm like, no one's gonna do that. He's like, yeah, but I'm like, dude, Gotham City, it's your initials, dude. He's like, yo, you're right. And he showed me one of his first pages he did when he was working on the Batman stuff, and he's like, Vinnie, I'm damn proud of this. I'm like, as you should be. I'm happy he picked Batman.
Yeah, I mean, it just, like with Spawn, it just felt like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
The worlds and everything. And at the beginning, when he was working with Scott Snyder, I thought the stories were there too. Like, he had some good stuff to draw. Yeah,
I'd say the first, the first 2 story arcs. He had Court of Owls, and then he did the one with the Joker. They did a great job. The only thing I was kind of disappointed with, but it wasn't their decision. I believe it was Grant Morrison, because he had final say over the Damian character. When it's supposed to be death of the family, Joker was supposed to kill Damian, and I guess whatever contract that Morrison he set up, it was my character, so I got to decide what would happen to him, and it kind of messed up that whole storyline because it would have been more pivotal. But again, that was out of their hands. But Court of Owls, I enjoyed. I really liked what they did with that.
Yeah, I thought, like, just killing Damian, just for the record, how unimaginative. Like, really, like who cares? Like, okay, you create this character. Mm-hmm. Would it be more interesting if you did something with the character other than just kill it? Because a lot of people didn't like the character, but until what was it, Pete Tomasi started doing
Super
it
Sons.
and Robin and Super
Mm-hmm.
Sons.
Yeah.
That character was lame. That character was really bad. And Pete Tomasi, because I think they got rid of Batman in some story arc, so it was just Dick Grayson and Damian. Yeah. And then Dick Grayson was kind of the mentor. He was the Batman character. Mm-hmm. And man, I'll tell you, Pete got me to actually think and to feel for that character. And then when they brought Batman back in, great stuff. Yeah. And I always thought, like, what they could have done if they kind of wanted to change up Damian and not follow the same Robin thing, and then Robin will become Batman. I thought, make Damian actually pull back from his roots and just say, I don't really have a taste for this anymore. What I want to do is I want to become a businessman. And so have Damian actually, since he is an actual heir to, the Wayne family, the Wayne money, have him become a businessman and have him run Wayne Enterprises. Have him be a character.
It would be good too, but like I said, they also he has the side of Ra's al Ghul and that whole bloodline, and raised by that whole guild. So like I understand what they were trying to do. It eventually got better. Like I said, Super Sons. I have I think the first 12 issues or something, and I thought it was pretty impressive what they did. And it wasn't a book that I would normally gravitate towards, but that's one of the few I was still kind of enjoying, and. Yeah, I don't know. Like for DC, there's only a few things that I enjoyed from them, and when they were doing something good, then they destroyed it. So like Lee Weeks was working on, I think it was Clark and Lois, and that was really good. And I wasn't picking up Superman stuff. I was never a diehard DC fan. There's certain things I enjoyed, but Superman wasn't really one of them. And I was like, when Lee Weeks was working, I was like, holy crap, dude, these pages are amazing. The story's fun. And then Bendis came.
Well, Bendis, oh my gosh, like we got derailed. I did work on some of that Lois and Clark stuff with Steven Segovia. And then, I started working with Carlo Barberi and Pete Tomasi on Super Sons. And and then Bendis came in, and then they were like, we're going to cancel Super Sons. I was like, what the hell? It's one of your top 5 best-selling books. Like, you're going to cancel it? And it's like, Bendis wants, the Superboy character. I'm like, so what?
We're just going to uproot everything. That is just so stupid.
Yeah, I was like, he's Bendis. Like, he had his heyday, and that was 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's done anything that's been really worthwhile since.
Yeah.
And obviously, case in point, we can see what he did at DC, and there's nothing worthwhile that he's done.
Yeah.
So
his best stuff was like street level kind of heroes and that kind of thing. That's where he excelled in. Yeah. So why would you give him a book like Superman, and just not only that, but the entire world, the whole anything that's connected to it? It was like you pissed off a lot of people, and a lot of people lost jobs for him. Don't get it. And then just because they realized the mistake they made, they offered the 3 of us a mini series, Vinny. A mini series. We had enough. When you have an ongoing, that's gold, right? Like that. Those are those jobs that you hold on to, and then it's like, oh well, that monthly. Yeah, you don't have that anymore. You're gonna have a mini series. Whoopee! So I got about halfway with that. I went to Comicsgate. I was like, I'm going Comicsgate. Yeah, screw it. That's it. And we get to work on our own IPs and do what we want. Because I was doing a lot of background stuff, like, things where my name wasn't out there. I was doing concept artwork, storyboards. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff all over the place. But like when I worked for Todd, I also worked at Toy Biz. I did a bunch of different things. Diamond Select. I was doing like a lot of statue designs and toy design, stuff like that. But I wanted to get back into all this because my whole thing was like I was supposed to work for Top Cow, and I had a choice between like working for Todd or working for them. And I went with Todd again because I've been such a fan of his when I was a kid, and where they were located was closer to like family and stuff like that at the time. So like I had somewhere to stay while I was doing there, and until I found an apartment and all that.
Was that Arizona?
No, I was in Jersey. He relocated.
The toys in Jersey. Is that right?
Yeah, everything's moved out to Arizona now.
Okay.
But yeah, that was one of the places where he hated going there as well. He just absolutely hated it because it was like up in the sticks. It wasn't close to the city or anything. It was a pain in the ass. But like I should have worked for again a Top Cow. But I didn't know anyone over there, and at the time I was really young, so like I never even been to California at that point. So like I'm like, and they told me, oh, this is just interning. So it's like, oh, I still have to find another job and do a whole bunch of stuff. Where I thought I was getting paid right away, right out the gate. So I'm like, I'll stay there for a bit and then I'll go over. But I never got that chance to go back over to them.
What year was that the Top Cow made that offer? What year?
That was like in the beginning of my career. That was 2000, 2001, around then.
Okay, so the heyday was kind of like the big salary days was gone. So you would have had to move to Santa Monica. Were they still in Santa Monica?
I believe so, yeah.
Top out, yeah. Well, you would have lived by the beach, but the rent, it would have been expensive, man.
Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to do it. That's why I'm like, no, I was like coming right out of high school. I'm like, I need to be making money, not just interning. But I know all their interns, they ended up making into stars anyway. Like the last one, I believe, was that guy, Eric, they called him Ebas.
Yeah,
he ended up doing a lot of stuff for what the hell, Zenoscope, I think it was called.
Yeah, he does the sexy ladies.
Yeah, so like my path kind of went a different direction, but again, for what I've been doing, like I wanted to get back into comics. I started doing covers and things over at Image, Hack and Slash, a bunch of different stuff. And then I'm like, yeah, no, I need to be getting back into storytelling. That's my dream. That's what I want to do. And that's what I started doing again. That's why I started popping out these books. And I'm damn proud of it, you know, and I like creating my own. Thank you, man.
Books look great, man. They really do. And let's go back to the campaign, and you can share some of the tiers. We can talk about the tiers. And
real quick, the one driving force was that as well, where I was supposed to be working on Spider-Man. I was working with Ralph Macchio, and he's like, Vinny, stop giving me samples. I'm going to put you on a book. And he told me what book it was, and I was like, holy hell. And 2 weeks before I signed the contract, Joe Q stepped in, put his buddy in, and completely kicked me to the curb. So, like, it's those kind of things where I'm like, this is how they treat people. This is what they do. And I had another encounter over at DC. That was another thing that involved very big names. And again, I was supposed to be put on a book. The higher up said it, and a lower level editor tried to screw me over, you know? And that's kind of how they operate. So yeah, I jumped into doing my own stuff, and I love it. It's no one gets to tell me what to do. I just want to tell great stories, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, you're control of your own destiny, so you don't have to. God, I was talking to somebody, maybe it was on a professionals, where you don't have to grovel. You know, you feel like you're groveling for like scraps. You know what I mean? Like can I please? You know, and then you call them, and then you feel like you're bugging them. You know what I mean? Because you know, if you don't work, you don't eat. You know, and then some of those editors, they actually they act like you're bugging them. I'm like, excuse me, if I don't do this, I don't eat. I'm not a salary guy like you. I don't have my insurance paid for. You know, I don't get a weekly paycheck like you do. So, you know, you need to be a little cooler than that. You know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and at conventions, holy shit, are they rude. Wow. I just, those are stories for another time. But, man, the things I've seen them say to people. I'm sitting there with my mouth like just swung open, like, holy hell! You just said that to that person? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I've worked for just a few really bad editors. I've been really lucky, you know, that I've worked with, you know, some good people, some decent people, and then like a handful of just complete and utter assholes.
Yeah.
And the asshole situation, you try to get, you know, once you don't need them anymore, you don't need that situation, you know, you try to, you know, you always keep looking for something else. And then as soon as you can jump ship, you do, because I've always been a professional. So, you know, with my career, so even if I'm not getting along with somebody, I try not to let it affect the work. And I have to be completely honest. I don't think it ever has. And there are some people that if I was in the same room with them, I would strangle them. You know what I mean? But I still didn't screw the deadline. I didn't screw them over as far as the work. I did the best I possibly could with the time that was, you know, given to me.
Yeah, and, that's it. Get the work done. Be professional. That's the way to do it. You know. I think they try to get you going on purpose. You know, they really try to hit a nerve to see how you're going to react. I've also seen that with these people.
Yeah, sometimes I think they do that because they don't have a reason to fire you or let you go. So they create like a really hard work environment, like a bad work environment, right?
Yeah.
And so what they're hoping is that you'll quit. And that's the worst, man. That is the worst. David Bogart on Ultimate Spider-Man did that to me. He kept messing with the schedule and making it harder and harder. And I'll tell you, like, you're probably like me, Vinny. Like, if somebody does that, I double down. I'm like, no, you're not going to break me. You are not going to break me. So I stepped up and I kept meeting the schedule, kept doing whatever was asked of me, making everything work. And then, they had to trump up some BS to fire me.
Yeah, that's what they do. It's just dirty stuff. But again, we're doing our own thing. I can't wait for Black and White 2. I can't wait for people to get their hands on this book.
Let's look at the video here while we're...
Yeah. This was done by Red Gaze.
Yeah, I may be working with Red Gaze in the future.
Oh, nice.
He's really good.
He's fantastic.
From Vinnie Tartamella comes Epic Adventure. Look at those ships. Look at that water. Holy crap.
Yeah, I have some great
ship for
battles.
Like wreckage, like undersea stuff, like boats and sunken treasure.
Yeah, I told you, man, I've been a fan of pirates since I was a kid.
Look at that.
Yeah, like I said, you need ship battles.
Yeah, some of these pages you showed me seemed like a year ago.
Yeah, I was. Some of them have been in the works for a bit, but again, I've been running 5 campaigns, so I've been working pages in between. You know, now I'm focusing more on them. So yeah, I'm getting a lot more work done, and this is going to be 50 pages right out of the gate.
Wow. So good. So freaking good, man.
Thanks,
that
man.
book looks fantastic. Let's get into some of the tiers. We have the featured tier here, which is both covers. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna do that one you see there with the skull. That was only supposed to be for about a week, but people started messaging me, and a lot of people were having hard times, and they were waiting for their checks to come in. So I said, you know what? I'll keep it open until I'm ready to fulfill. Then I'm gonna remove that cover off of every tier. So I'm just giving people a chance to get it because it's still going to be an exclusive cover. But yeah, I'm not going to be printing that again. It's just going to be, you know, when I'm ready to fulfill, that's it. You know.
Is that this one here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that skull is like a key piece to the overall story, to the series.
Well, it looks like it's got a map, like etched in.
Yeah. There's a map that's carved into it. It's also coded, so if you know someone just found it, they couldn't just figure out where to go. But yeah, like I said, I have lots of layers in there for this story, and really good surprises throughout the whole series.
Sweet. So that's only 50, you guys. 56 claimed. We have the main cover. These look like they're all signed too. Are all the tiers?
Yeah.
All the main books are signed.
All of them are signed because this is all me. So yeah, you're gonna get my signature on everything.
So we have 128 claimed killer, and so then main book 2 prints keychain $50. Keychain, that's cool.
Yeah, got the keychain right here.
Wait, hold on. Let me check it out.
There we are.
Wait, hold on. Let's go full screen. Oh, killer. Flip it around. Let me see the back.
That's like a button one.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, I thought he'd give something kind of cool or different, something a little more practical people could use.
Yeah, that's killer.
So why not?
Yeah, I like it. And it's done, which is half the battle.
Yeah. That's why I got him tested. I'm like, yeah, these look pretty good, and that's why I put it on the campaign.
So the prints, one of them is that underwater thing with the wreckage, I see.
Yeah.
And the other one is the sexy girl in the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the guy's searching for something. So then we have main cover and head sketch, only 250. That's pretty killer.
Yeah, and it's the size of the book as well. So I kind of do them like on those Silver Age backboards. That way it's easier, and you know, because if they're bigger, they're bigger pieces too. I'd have to up all of the shipping on everything, and I want to kind of have a campaign that was a little bit easier to get out there, and I don't have to go too crazy with it.
Right.
Since again, it's all me.
And you guys keep in mind, like Vinnie, like these are drawings. These aren't head sketches. These are pretty much finished pencil drawings. If that's that image is any indication, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I have 2 of them that's on the actual campaign as well, and yeah, it's that quality. One of them sold.
I think I've seen on some of your previous campaigns your what you call sketches, which are pretty much finished drawings. Yeah.
There's actually for Through the Woods, I was doing them on the inside since they were a hardcover book, but yeah, that's the quality, for sure.
Are you showing something?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me come.
So yeah, that you're gonna get the highest quality.
Wow. Yeah, you guys, this isn't messing around. These aren't like little quickie convention drawings. These
Yeah,
like,
no. I'm putting a lot of work into that.
That's pretty killer. Yeah, so you guys will get that on a backing board. I actually like the artwork separate than in the book, to be honest, because I think like I would like to frame it. You know what I mean? Or like what I've talked to some people at conventions. They have like art books, like portfolios, and they put all their convention drawings, sketches, and stuff like that. And then in a way, they become like art books, like coffee table books.
Yeah.
So if they have friends that come over that like comic book art and stuff like that, they can actually kind of look at them like a cool art book.
Yeah. No, I love it too. I've done a number of drawings in those at conventions as well. It is really cool. I only did Through the Woods that way because it was a hard cover and I did the inside white. I asked people too, I'm like, what did you prefer? And people leaned towards that. So I'm like, all right, I'll do that for that campaign. But City of Venus, I had done the backboards, and a lot of people enjoyed those too. So since this campaign is going to be perfect bound, I figured, yeah, I'll go back to doing them like on the backboards.
Yeah, I just realized maybe I misspoke. What I meant is like they take the individual drawings and then they put them in those the sleeves, like portfolio sleeves. So basically they're creating their own sketchbook or their own art books.
Right.
It's not like a sketchbook that they have a bunch of different sketches in the same book. This one is like a bunch of individual drawings on different days, and then they put those in those mylar sleeves kind of thing.
I've seen both. Yeah, I've seen both, and I've been a part of both. So some of those people, they have some really amazing books. I'm like, where did you get this? I would love to have something like that. But yeah, have you been part of the big art jams? Well, they'll have like a giant piece, and everyone's kind of doing.
Yeah, I get a little nervous, man. I still do them, but I get a little nervous because, like, oh, you're right. Like, you're squeezing your drawing right between, like, Neil Adams and Art Adams or something.
Yeah, exactly.
or is that a Kevin Nolan? Yes, it is. I want yours right here. It's like, oh shit.
It's pretty. It's nerve wracking sometimes. One guy had like a poster size one. And he did it like these characters were like at an art museum. So each piece had this amazing frame, and we would do a drawing inside of each of those. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've seen like where they break up like 11 by 17 board into a bunch of like grid, and then there's like a trading cards like size. Compositions, and you can do headshots and stuff in those. I like those because they're small and you can do them quickly. Yeah,
those are pretty easy to do. But like you said, those other ones are really more intricate, or you see, there's like a really famous artist. It's like, oh shit, I'm intimidated to be doing anything on that.
Exactly. It's like I don't want to be the one that brings this thing down.
Well, it's that, or if you feel like if you might screw something up too.
Well, that's what I meant by, you mean like screw one of their drawings up, like drop ink on it or something?
Yeah, and it's like, oh shit, all right, I'm going to be extra careful on this.
Exactly, yeah. So this is it Annie? Is that the character?
Yeah.
And so this is also a 7 by 10.5 board, and so this is one of the characters, and this is 250 as well.
Yeah.
But this is like a almost a full figure. What do you call it? 3/4 view, or what? A 3/4 shot.
Well, yeah, I'll be doing that from time to time. If I feel like just doing one, and it's really good, or if I can even use it in the book, I'll end up putting it on the campaign as well. Because the one tier I have where you see the one headshot, that's going to be a random character. Yeah, that one there. That's a random character from the book. So it's going to be, you know, one of the main characters, obviously, but it could be anywhere from like a headshot to a bust shot, whatever I feel like doing at the moment. But it's still going to have a very high level of detail on it. But yeah, and then again, like that Annie one is up there. I had that Pirate Wench one sold. So yeah, it's from time to time I'll try to squeeze out another one and just pop them up there if people want specific, you know, a specific drawing.
Yeah, so there's only one, you guys. So he's only going to do one of these. So get in on that. That's a pretty good price. It's pretty reasonable. Both covers plus headshot. 275. Is this this is probably the deal, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a random character,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you got 1 out of 10 claimed. Both covers, head sketch, beanie, keychain, and more. So what is and more?
Whatever we unlock, like with the stretch tiers and stuff like that, will be added to it.
Oh, okay. Is it only for the ultra tier gets the stretch goals, or is
no? Everyone. If we unlock stretch goals, it's for everyone. But the ultimate tier, if there's anything extra I decide to do, it'll be tacked onto that. So it's whatever I could afford to do. Because again, I'm looking to get the numbers up in the campaign. The better the campaign does, the more great stuff I could get out to people. You know, pretty much like all the other.
It makes it easier, like volume, when you work with vendors for like the keychains and the beanies and the prints. It always works better when you have bigger orders.
And yeah, I had the a beanie made up as well, and like the quality is really great on this. So I'm sure.
So there are actual pages, so you're not working completely digital.
Right. Yeah. Those are the ones I'm willing to part with because I normally don't like to sell my original pages. But there's in this batch at least, and that's why they're a little bit more expensive because it's going to be harder to get an original comic book page from me. So this is like for the diehard collectors if they really want it. Because on my other campaigns, there's a lot of people were asking. So I figured on this, I could part with a few. So that's why they're up there.
So are some of the pages pencil? And then colors over them, and then some are inked with colors over them. Is that right?
Well, like the one that's just the pencils. That's the $1,000 tier. So those are just the detailed pencils. Then the one underneath is the full inks on them. Nothing's going to be colored on them. These are just either pencils or inks. The colors I'll scan in those pages and I color everything on the computer.
Right, but are you? I guess I'm just confused. Like, are some of the interior pages penciled and some of them are inked? Like kind of a little bit of both, or is every one of the pages on the interiors inked?
I have a mix. The majority of them are penciled and inked, but I'm starting to pivot over to digital inks because it's a little bit quicker. So I'm kind of doing that at the moment. Like the last few pages I did. They're digital inks. So again, it's even more rare for the ones that I do have that are traditionally inked.
Right, right. That's what I was just about to say. Like the inked pages are going to be very rare.
Right.
Killer. So it looks like you got the Pirate Winch sold, and is this one of the prints? What's this artwork for?
That's the main cover.
Oh, this is the main cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the main cover. The one with the skull is the variant cover.
Okay.
So that's the one that'll once the campaign is fulfilled, then I'll keep it in demand for a while longer. That's the cover people are going to be able to get.
Wow, this is a great shot. This is the money shot.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. That's great.
Thanks,
oh, there's
that's why, for everything that I'm putting in here, like I said, there's going to be beautiful locations, but equally brutal scenes. beautiful women. Like I have everything that you need in a pirate story is going to be in this book.
Looks like buried treasure.
Yep.
Hey, there's the drawing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you
so people
get
could.
this drawing.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at Vinnie. You're drawing it right there as we talk. Look at your hand. You're like busy penciling that bad boy.
Always working.
So this is the old veteran pirate, or is this like his boss?
This is the villain. This is the guy. He's pursuing the main characters, and you'll find out why. But he also this guy has his own agendas, and he is pulling strings from the shadows. You know, he's I keep equating him to like Darth Vader, sort of like, you know, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty when he needs to. But he's also. I imagine
with this getup, he was part of the army, right? Not the pirate army, but the established army.
You're gonna have to buy the book.
Okay. So then this guy controls the Kraken.
The Kraken is actually the name of the ship.
Oh shit! There's no real Kraken.
I didn't say that either.
Or is there?
Scroll just a little bit more.
Shit! There's the Kraken. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, there's like I said, there's going to be some good surprises in this series for sure.
This looks so. This is the page you showed me early on, or at least that first panel, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of great stuff in here, and I'm not shying away either from like the slave trade. Almost everyone, when it comes to these pirate stories, they always skip over it. It's an integral part of what was going on in the Caribbean, and you know, slavery was super valuable. It was one of the biggest things. So why would you not put that in a pirate story? It's part of history. So I'm making sure that there's going to be elements of it in there and certain characters. Half the crew is made up of freed slaves, and the other half is pretty much like defectors from the Royal Crown. So it's kind of how it was back then as well. You know, you had famous pirates like Blackbeard. If they came upon a ship that had slaves, he would free them. You know, and he was one of the most notorious pirates, and he was freeing slaves because he believed like every man should be free.
It would work for him, though, right?
That too, and later on when he had like he got syphilis and his mind was going, he sold a number of them in the Carolinas. But again, pirate. So what do you expect?
That's the best part, right? Because you just go, pirate. What do you expect? Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. There's going to be lots of betrayal throughout the series as well. Action, treasure. Like I said, it has everything it needs to have. You know, and I'm very proud of the story that I'm telling with this.
It looks great. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the beanie.
Yep. Yeah, I was showing it before. Yeah, I got it right here as well.
Oh, you got it? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
You see that nice logo in there?
Yeah. With the Kraken in the
good quality. Like I was really impressed with it. So again, like but before I put anything up, I had to make sure I at least got a test copy of it to see how the quality is on these things. And you know, I think that's the way to go with it.
Oh, Green Laser says I just backed both tiers, both cover tiers.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, you have to answer Sheldon's like, what's the Kraken? What's the Kraken?
Well, at the moment it is the ship, but yeah, the what's a Kraken?
What's Kraken? We're Kraken wise here. I saw a killer documentary. They were what do they call that? Where it's modern day, and they kind of look. They're adventure seekers, and they go kind of like what Cameron did with the Titanic, but they go there and they find old pirate ships, and they basically declare it and then take up all the gold and they benefit from it financially. Like there's somehow like there's certain waters that they can go into, and it's like it's fair game. You can go in there and you can basically mine these old ship areas.
Yeah. There's lots of people like that. They kind of like the modern day treasure hunters, where because there's been so many shipwrecks from the storms and stuff like that. There were a number of ships that went down. So yeah, some waters or treasures are protected. So if you find it, you have to bring it in. It either goes to a museum or back to the country or whatever they do with it. But there's, like you said, there's others. I know, like there's parts of Florida, like up the coast. There are some places where, like, if you find it, it's yours. And there have been people, there's not a lot of them, but every few years they'll have someone that made like a couple $1 million finding that kind of stuff.
Right. The documentary I saw, they were looking for a specific ship, and and so there was, I guess there were these pirate harbors, like these little islands and stuff like that. And they would, these pirates would go in there and they would get supplies, they'd get to rest, and also they could make repairs on their ships. But it's kind of like a dry dock situation where there was this area where they would bring in the ships so they could work on them. But some of these ships were in such bad shape, they actually sank right there in the harbor.
Right.
And so this guy did all his math, and he traced it back to this location, right? This ship. And so then, they do this ultrasound or whatever it is, they do it, they go, oh, there is a wreck here, right? So they went down, and so now they're like looking at it, they're filming it and everything. And then they're like, I don't think this is the ship, right? And so then they find something in the wreckage, and they're like, no, the ship we're looking for is under this ship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what they figured out is that there were so many ships that came in there that just didn't go back out. You know what I mean? They just sank right there. And so then over, years and years, they just kind of decay and fall apart. So this one ship just kind of, they're like ribs, the ship, and then they just kind of like you just open up. And then there was another ship underneath it, and that was the one they were looking for.
Because that's the thing. Yeah, along those coastlines. There were some areas that were so shallow, and a lot of people didn't know, and they would just crash and sink. That's why a really good pirate knew those waters, or they knew how to travel up and down. That's why, like someone like Blackbeard or certain people, like they knew the routes and how far they could get, or how close they could get. It's really interesting because there have been a lot of captains that have done the same thing, and they've won battles that way, because they knew the land, so to speak.
Right, because it's kind of like having a hidden safe house in a city, right? And you have you're running from the cops, and then they're like, where'd they go? And it's like, oh, well, they're in the safe house, and then the safe house has supplies, so you could spend days in there if you're on the lam. And also, if you're into that sort of stuff, they probably have weapons and different allies that you can team up with, and then move from there. So that the pirates had these little islands and all these secret places and those places did well, man, because those pirates came in with shit tons of like gold and money. So these things were well supplied, well armed.
It's incredible. I mean, and the thing too, like in history with Nassau, like they took over the fort that was there. That's why they were so formidable, and they lasted a good number of years for what they were doing. But that's why it's such an interesting point in history. And I've been a fan since I was a kid, and I never understood why there weren't that many stories that were told that were actually more accurate, or more rich with detail. It's kind of crazy, but hey, that's where I step in.
Yeah, well, there's was it John Lafitte, or I forget which pirate it was that fought with the French or whatever, and like there's all kinds of like where they even, like you said, it's I don't know, it's kind of like that's why I like the Conan character and characters like that. Even like that, I think that's why the Mandalorian does well, is because there's these nomadic characters, right? And they're kind of just self-serving. So to say that they're just bad or evil is is an overstatement. It's not quite true. They're actually kind of self-serving. So they don't just do bad, but if there's a purpose where they can benefit from it, or it's mutually beneficial, they'll get into it with those people as well. So it could actually help somebody, or help a town, or help individuals in a way, that may be an established,
that's a great point, because my character is going to be doing something similar. There's a slight Robin Hood element to the main characters a bit, but then at the same time, they're doing some brutal things to others, and you'll see that kind of that dynamic that happens, and like you said, to some people you're going to be a hero, to others you're going to be a villain, and I'm kind of I'm skirting that line with a bunch of the characters and kind of where they head. Each character is going to kind of have their own path that they're going to be taking, and that's the cool thing about it. Because when everyone thinks they know where the story's going, it's going to be going somewhere else. Like you had input about the villain, and someone else had another theory about the villain. And someone's right, someone's wrong. It's fun to play with that kind of thing, and some people have been totally off, but I'm like, that's interesting, but no, I'm not doing that.
So Joe has a great question. Are you going to have real historical pirates, mythological Ares, Bermuda Triangle, Atlantis?
Well, I'm gonna have some elements in there. I'm not gonna say exactly what in regards to the supernatural part, because I do want more things to be a surprise. But there are going to be historical parts are going to be in there. The first issue, I might just have kind of cameos or Easter eggs of them. But throughout the series, there's at least 2 of them that do have an integral part in the story. So my main characters will be dealing with some of them for sure.
So you mentioned there's going to be a follow-up. So what's the follow-up? I mean, what is this? Is it you're just going to have one and dones, but you're going to deal with the universe, or is it going to have like a cliffhanger and then it's going to go into the next and so on and so forth?
It's going to be a cliffhanger, and then I will be doing more issues for sure, because I'm jumping in between different projects. It's one way to kind of keep it fresh for me, and keep that the energy high on each project. So like from when this is finished, I'm going to be jumping into City of Venus 2. People have been waiting a long time for the sequel on this, and it's going to be 50 pages. All my books are going to be 50 pages from here on out. That's my goal with these projects. Since people are paying a premium price, I want to give them a premium product, straight up. I've been saying this for the longest time, and all of my books, they're kind of connected to the same universe. So the City of Venus is a futuristic tale. The pirate one is, again, it's historic. It's going to be in the 1700s, but there's elements. If it's not going to be an Easter egg, there's a direct connection between certain characters or storylines. You'll see it eventually. You don't have to pick up everything, but if you do, you're gonna see kind of what else I'm building here. It's kind of like a bigger universe. I think it's important to do that kind of stuff, and that way things feel a little bit more tangible, a little bit more real, and that's why the quality is at the level that it's at for these projects.
Right. It looks fantastic. I mean, your art always delivers. The story sounds great, and it sounds like there's a lot of different places you can go, since you have, that's the thing about these gray area characters. Like, you can take them and you can spin them on a dime. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can entertain like both sides of a person's personality, and I think that's really cool. And then there's a supernatural edge to it, that you've teased.
Yeah. I could only tease it at the moment, like I said, because again, there's a lot of big moments happening. This book's going to keep getting bigger. This series is going to keep getting bigger.
You know what? I just thought of something, man. As a kid, there just is something about finding a freaking box full of a shit ton of like gold and jewels and things that are going to make you rich. Like as a kid, I used to just dig around in the yard, and I used to just fantasize. Like, that's why movies do that. You always hear like the kunk, 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 because that's the keys, right? You always want that sound, conk, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a treasure chest. Yeah.
So you were just digging holes in the backyard? Your parents must have loved that.
Oh shit, we dug tunnels all over the yard, like just a quick. We always had clubhouses and forts and stuff like that in the yard. And so I had one that started on the ground, and then it kind of evolved into a second story, and then it went into the tree. It kind of built into the tree. And so then I wasn't content with that. I'm an overachiever, Vinny. And so then I started digging tunnels from the fort out into the yard. And so then I was like a mole, and I was digging out. And then I realized that I could do it easier, where I could just dig a trench and then put wood down, and then backfill it with dirt.
Wow.
And so my dad didn't go out in the backyard very much. And so this time he went out in the backyard, and he's wondering why the ground is kind of bouncing, because it's a board with dirt on it. And he's like, what the hell? So then he must have started scuffing around, and then he picks up the wood, and he's like, oh shit, there's this tunnel. And so I do remember my dad, like parents, sometimes they just lose their mind and they just talk and get crazy and don't make any sense. And he's like, you're digging these tunnels. And he's going, I'm worried. He goes, I'm worried about you. Like one of these tunnels could collapse and you could die. And I'm like, Dad, it's not going to collapse. It's only like deep enough to get us like to crawl, like on our elbows.
So a foot and a half deep.
Yeah, there's only like this much dirt on top, and it's a board, and it's not going to happen. And then he's like, "You're talking back to me, boy." And then you shut up, and then
Have you heard of that story of? I think it was in London. There was a famous bank robbery where they did something similar. They went to there was like a building or something or store next to the bank, and after hours they were digging a hole in a trench from that point to go into the bank. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I would have been good at it, because the cool thing about it is, like, the main thing is where do you hide the dirt, right? So every time we dug the tunnel, there were 2 or 3 of us kids. We would have to pull the dirt back through the tunnel, and then that's why the fort kind of held the dirt. You know what I mean? Like, so we'd pull the dirt back, so we had a place to hide the dirt, because it would have been a tell if we had these mounds of dirt in the backyard.
Right. Holy crap.
So I did always fantasize about hitting, a chest of gold, but I did hit something, and it was a gas main. So I'm glad I didn't hit it too much with the shovel. That wouldn't have been good.
Holy hell! Art just blew up the neighborhood, everybody.
Exactly. So let's go back real quick, because I think somebody said in the chat that they backed some books here. So let's see what your total is, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. All right, let's go back up. Let's see Vinny's total here for Shadow of the Kraken. We are at 282 and 1578.
Nice. Thank you, everybody. That's awesome.
Yes. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for giving Shadow of the Kraken so much love and attention. It's a great book.
Absolutely. And yeah, if anyone, if you guys haven't backed my projects yet, City of Venus, Through the Woods, they're still available. On the bottom of that campaign, there are links to it, so you guys can check it out. These books ship right away. City of Venus, I have 2 art books that are attached to that campaign. So if you guys want them, you could get them there as well. And yeah, Through the Woods is a hardcover book.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, and these are 52 pages each, the art books. There's just a ton of different and great characters and stuff in here. I don't know if I could show all of them. Oh, look, we got a pirate.
There's a pirate right there. And a mermaid.
And the other one too, like there's just a ton of great stuff in here. The print quality is just a little bit different between volume 1 and 2, because this was my original printer, which the quality was still all right. It's still like the paper quality thick and everything, but the new one I did like the gloss finish on these. So yeah, check them out. Plus we have, again, Through the Woods is available as well. This past 40K. So thank you everyone who's been supporting these books. And so you know it is European format, so it's a bigger book compared to your regular comic book size. And yeah, hardcover, 100 pages. This is a completed story. So yeah, please check out all this great stuff. Like I said, these ship right away. The pirate book I'm still working on. So yeah, just we got to try to get the numbers up because I want to unlock some stretch goals, extra pages, you know, that kind of stuff. And
yeah, so if you guys want some cool like stretch goals, some freebies, you know, back today, and also with your social media, post some stuff up. You know, if you've already backed the book or you don't have money right now, post some stuff up for Shadow of the Kraken. It always helps, man. This is all guerrilla marketing, and any way we can get the word out, it does help. And I do have.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna leave with this. Ethan Van Sciver looks like he's looking for people to do some work for him. So he is the greatest person to work for. So if you guys have a resume, send it Ethan's way. That's awesome.
Yeah, and speaking of other projects, I'm also on Red Gaze's his new project, Sunsworn. So check that out. I got a variant cover. Nerium did the main cover and all the artwork in the book. Beautiful quality. So please continue to give that some love as well. Great creators.
Yeah, that book looks great. Yeah, the artwork, the concept looks really cool. And actually, you did a cover for the Charlie Chaplin book, right? For Charlie Clinton.
Yep. I did one of the main covers. I think that's the one that they're gonna be using in the museum in Switzerland.
Yeah, it's great. It's really nice. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you, Vinny. I know this was a little bit of labor getting this thing all put together, but we made it happen. I had a good hour and a half. It was fun hanging out with you. So,
me too, man. It's always a great time. You know, we got to showcase you know, a really great artist who passed away. We got to talk about some cool comic book stuff and showcase some great projects. So always a blast. And yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Again, I have great streams, great guests on. Art's been on. You should come back as well. We always have a great time. So yeah, man, I want to thank everyone in the chat as well. You guys rock.
Yeah, Comicsgate is the best. Yeah, thanks, chat, and thanks again, Vinny. Take care. Everybody have a good day.